All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this ARIN meeting here in Austin. And yeah, congratulations to all the Nat fans, of which I'm a secondary Nat fan. Of course, everyone knows my true allegiance is to the Yankees. But a cool fact about it, the winning pitcher last night was from Central New York, just outside my hometown. He's from Cicero, North Syracuse, Patrick Corbin. So that's a cool thing. All right, we're going to go right into the Internet Number Resource Status Report. This is a report prepared by all 5 RIRs together out of the Registration Services Departments. So this is a slide that you get to see every meeting, at every RIR meeting, and it's just basically a distribution of the 256/8s that IANA held and distributed, and they still hold some of them, the reserves. You can see APNIC with 45 there. Paul Wilson, we'll shout out to you. How you doing? And then Central Registry has 92. ARIN, of course, has 36. Okay, so at one point, somebody sent a suggestion to the RSCG saying, hey, we see, you show this number of how the /8s were given out by IANA and the status of them, but you don't show where they are today. So we added this slide, which shows the total IPv4 addresses managed by each RIR in terms of /8s. As you can see, ARIN has 99.87, of which half of those are still legacy, not under agreement, and the other half is under agreement. And as you saw, there was 36 that were actually given straight from IANA to ARIN. So the other ones are /8s that were given out directly to organizations that ARIN has been tasked to manage. This is the available IPv4 space in each RIR today, and by available, it means space that they actually have on hand to give out. You'll see that ARIN says 0.0, but yet you're seeing ARIN give out IPv4 space, not frequently, but about once every quarter. That space is space that has been revoked, returned, or was in some other status that we have since resolved and are able to distribute through the wait list. This is IPv4 space issued by the RIRs per year. As you can see, it is dwindling way down to where it's very hard to see it on the graphs. We expect that to continue until there's none to be reported. Someday, we hope. Okay. That's it on the IPv4 space. So now we'll go into the IPv4 transfers. And this does not include M&A transfers from any of the RIRs. Okay, so this is the Intra IR. So this is both sides, source and recipient, are both within the same RIR region. And this is the number of transfers per year. You can see that RIPE has a lot of transfers going on within their region. ARIN has quite a bit. APNIC has some, and as you see, AFRINIC and LACNIC have a few too. They started their approval and doing transfers came a few years after all the other RIRs. But today all RIRs do intra IPv4 transfers. This is the intra, this is Dumpbite. This is the same thing, but by number of addresses transferred each year. As you can see, it doesn't necessarily equate that the number of transfers equals the number of resources that are transferred, as ARIN transfers a lot of addresses, but RIPE actually had the most per transfer by just the transfer itself. A lot of that is a lot of the legacy /16s that get transferred around throughout the ARIN region. Okay, this is the InterRIR transfers. So today, ARIN, APNIC, and RIPE are the only three RIRs participating. However, LACNIC has passed their policy and they are in the process of implementing it. And we expect that sometime in the summer of 2020, maybe around June, that they will start doing InterRIR transfers. I think at that time we'll probably change this chart because the arrows will just get crazy if we try to throw LACNIC in there. But you can see, again, this is the number. And here, actually, ARIN has more numbers. We have a lot going out to RIPE and a lot going out to APNIC. We'll get in, this is going to be the number of addresses. And as you can see, it's a little unbalanced, but you would expect that. Remember I showed you the /8s managed by the different RIRs, and I told you that ARIN has like 50 legacy /8 space. A lot of that is right here getting transferred on the InterRIR market. As you can see, we have sent almost 10 million out to RIPE and 17.8 million out to APNIC. And we've gotten, well, half a million from RIPE and a little bit from APNIC. A little bit. They send some our way every once in a while to keep us happy. Not really. We don't care. We don't care. And then you can see, really, it's interesting. Between APNIC and RIPE, it's pretty balanced. But neither one of them have that huge pool of legacy space that's sitting out there. Okay, that's it on transfers. Now we'll go into the IPv6 space. This is just basically a representation of how much has been allocated to the RIRs. You can see that there was some space allocated to the RIRs before October 2006 when I believe, current global policy for how IANA hands out IPv6 space to the RIRs went into effect. That policy basically says that each RIR gets a /12 every time they have to go back and ask for space. At this time, nobody has gone back, and no RIR has gone back and asked for another /12. Although there are a few, I understand RIPE's getting very close, and ARIN, we're also getting very close. And Paul, are you guys getting? No, not yet. Okay, so Tina. Okay. That's it for that one. This just basically represents how many prefixes each RIR allocates per year. So it's basically the same chart we showed how many IPv4s, but as you saw, IPv4 was dwindling. IPv6 is actually, it's not really growing hugely, but it's steady and it's growing somewhat. Okay, and this is the total allocated IPv6 space measured in /32s from each RIR allocated out. No surprises there. RIPE has, it leads the pack, APNIC in there and ARIN there in the middle. Let's see. So this is the assignments. So this is to the end users. Again, it grew and then it's pretty steady. And here you'll notice LACNIC has given out quite a bit of /48 equivalent space, assigned it. That's because I believe they had a policy where every single customer or organization within LACNIC was given an IPv6 block. So that's basically why they lead the pack on that. And I think in RIPE, it has something to do with the way they have their LIRs and all that they allocate a lot more space than they use than they give to end users. And I believe maybe APNIC is the same way because the NIR, you don't give a lot of space to like end users, Paul, the assignments. So there, ARIN does. We have a pretty good balance between end users and ISPs. or allocations. Okay, this is the slide that makes me dizzy. The lines there, so this is just members that were the, I don't know, I guess you call it the lines are IPv6 only members, and then the solid is members with IPv4 and IPv6. And just want to say on this that all the RIRs, the term member does not mean the same thing. AS numbers, again, this is just a representation of how it's allocated out of the IANA pool. ARIN and RIPE had quite a bit of 16-bit ASNs, then APNIC, and then of course LACNIC and AFRINIC had very few. This is ASNs that each RIR issued per year. The lines are 32-bit and the solids are 16-bit. And I have to look over here because this thing is like jumping like crazy. You can see ARIN we still give out a fair bit of 16-bit because the way we do it per policy is that as we just give it straight out of we have an ASN pool. As you come in and request an ASN, you get approved, and the system assigns the lowest number that's currently in the pool, and we clean up as the ASNs that we get back. We clean them up the same way we clean up the space that we get back, and once it meets all the requirements of being thrown back into the pool, it gets thrown back into the pool. So every time we get 16-bit ASs back and clean them up, we throw them into the pool and they go out first. They're always going to go out first. So we give out quite a bit of 16-bit. Total ASNs assigned by, total ASNs assigned by each RIR. Nothing real interesting there. You can see it pretty much jives with all the other charts on the ASNs. And that was the last slide. This is where you can see this presentation on the NRO site. And then you can also go to the IANA site to see the status of IANA holds for them.
Thank you. Any questions for John on the number resource status report? Okay. We're actually going to reorder the agenda and move to the IETF report now. Thank you, John. We'll call you back up in a moment. Thank you.